Hello and welcome to my first league race on the PRL European Championship Season 5. I can't even speak anymore. This is my qualifying lap in the GT3 Aston Martin. As you can see here, this is the best lap I've done. The previous best lap is a 1:28.2. This was supposed to be kind of a live con type of thing that I did, just because it's a bit easier. But I kind of forgot to record the race. So, yeah, that's why we're doing it this. Maybe I will do it this way, I don't really know. Excuse me. As you can see there in the first sector, I was about half a tenth down on my previous best, which is not really ideal, but it was okay. I was like, yeah, I can definitely improve in the second sector, see where we are then, and then see what we can do in the third sector here. Maybe cut that corner a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. As we run out wide there onto the curbing, just to carry as much speed as we can coming up into this corner. Take it in. As you can see, we're very far down. So at this point, I'm like, okay, right, might as well just fucking floor it. As you can see, how track extended there, and track extended there as well a bit. I mean, I didn't expect to improve, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna pull over to the right, kind of set up for the best next lap. I did improve, and I'm not 100% sure on how much that actually gained me in terms of positions. I can't really tell. Oh wait, maybe I can. Yeah, okay, maybe that actually gave me 2 positions. So questionable there. Maybe I should have been starting in 10th place, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure everybody else will be saying, yeah, you should have given up that lap. I didn't expect to improve, to be honest. So yeah, that was kind of that. Moving on now to the manual rolling start here. So you can see the BMW leads. We're in the Aston Martin there. In its place. We're just trying to wait for the green light to go. It goes now. The BMW had a great start there to the left, near the back. So now we get pushed off the track. We rejoin wheel to wheel with that BMW. We get a little bit of a nudge there from the Porsche behind us. We managed to hold our position there, and are we going to look to the inside there on that other BMW in front of us? We're in a BMW sandwich there as the Porsche runs out wide. The BMW in front of us gets past him. I try to avoid the BMW. Luckily, you get a much better exit than me. We go side by side there. The Porsche tries to turn in a bit earlier than I was expecting. Kind of spins me out wide. I get tagged from the in the side, lose a couple of positions, and that really was not ideal. It gave me a bit of damage. It wasn't horrendous at this point, but it was still slowing me down a little bit, if you know what I mean. You know, when it's like it's kind of the damage model in where it like kind of turns in one direction. Reference game on point. Definitely. So there, as you can see, I'm actually braking a little bit later than everyone else, just because I'm not carrying as much speed. And I'm trying to now just stick with this group as best as I can, trying not to lose too much time. But obviously, we have this Porsche all over the back of us at the moment. The Audi pushes the BMW out wide a little, so we're going to try and have a look at the BMW as the Porsche is going to look to the inside of the BMW. We go free wide, but the BMW pushes me out wide. Luckily, the grass is not slippy like in real life. Luckily, it's like really grippy, and we are able to not hold any positions there. We actually lose the position to the Porsche, or do we, as he goes round the outside. Didn't realize he was there, kind of turned into him. I'm not really sure what happened there. I think there was a bit of lag on the BMW's end. I don't think he realized I was on his outside. So, not horrendous. Luckily, Luckily, I didn't do like a spin like Lewis Hamilton did in the Spanish Grand Prix that was a few days ago. And now our aim is to just try to keep this Audi behind us if we can, just try and stick to the back of this Porsche. Maybe see if he makes a mistake. Maybe try and make a move. I don't really know. As we run, I don't really know what we did that lap on that exit there. We kind of just fucked it really. you can see they were braking decently. I do like the Aston on its brakes, it's pretty good. As then the Audi just goes straight on in that second part of the chicane. Not 100% sure what happened there, but I don't really know, to be honest. So we'll take the position, and we'll see what happens next. We're now going to kind of look at the back of this group. They have pulled slowly away from us. You can see the damage is affecting us. The damage was causing me about 3 seconds a lap, as the BMW has a bad exit. I think he was looking to the move, but the door just shut. Now the Porsche is all over the back of him. But we were losing about 3 seconds a lap. Maybe I should have pit on the first lap. I was considering it, but I decided not to, as the Porsche and the BMW go side by side. A little bit of contact there. There's another Porsche that spun round, and that elevates me up a position. So I hit that little bump. I don't even remember that, to be honest. As we now going to just try and stay attached to the back of this trio in front of us. So as you can see there, we're right up behind the BMW. We might be able to do something down the straight if he's a bad exit. Obviously the BMW, not the fastest GT3 car. We get a good exit. We're closing down on him, but it's not really a great braking zone into this corner. We do look up the inside, but we think better of it there and just stick in behind him. Going to try to get a decent third sector. Obviously the third sector is much more suited to the BMW than the Aston, but our aim was to try and stay relatively close. Obviously with the damage as well, it did not help. But as you can see, the BMW's pulled I don't know, maybe about half a second in front of us, so unless we have some kind of godly exit, it's not going to be a chance to make a move here. As we come into the corner, I outbrake myself so much, run into the back of the BMW. I apologise on the team speak, and I let him back through. Obviously it doesn't help my damage all that much. I don't really remember it getting that worse, but it might have, I don't really know. As you can see, the cars up in front were battling so hard. Maybe if we didn't get that damage on the first corner, this would be the same as there. The Audi, what is it doing? I think it's got a time penalty, so it's trying to let everybody past. I try to go round the outside. I think then it stops, so he's able to kind of keep going. He cuts that corner, gets another one, just parks it on the apex. I'm like, what's happening? I have to cut the corner to get past him. His time penalty runs out. Now we're going side by side into this chicane. I leave him the space, have a really shit exit due to it. He has a decent exit, runs on my rear wing. Maybe if we didn't crash into the back of the Z4 in the lap before, this wouldn't have happened. Look how much time is where we lost due to it. I decided to leave him the space. Probably didn't need to leave him that much space, for fuck's sake. We humped the curb because that's how we do it. We let the Audi pass, unfortunately. The next aim was to try and stay with the Audi, but it was just a little bit too quick for us with the damage that we had, and the Porsche there in our behind is slowly closing to us. Me and the Audi both don't have our headlights on, but the Porsche does behind us. Not really sure how much headlights actually do help, but there is going to be a couple of night races which should be entertaining, to say the very least. Are we going to have a look at the Audi coming into this next corner? We might be close enough, but I think just with the damage, our straight line speed just isn't quite there. So the Audi stays in front of us. Try to get a decent exit to come up with him in this next corner, but again, we're just a little bit too far behind. Cutting on now a couple of laps later. I don't really know what lap this was, to be honest, but the Porsche has really closed up to us, as you can see. The Audi's just gone. Our damage is not really helping us out that much at all, and yeah, that's not exactly the greatest. I believe at this point 2 people have also retired from the race, so we're down now to 10 cars, and I am 9th out of those 10 cars, so yeah, not exactly where I wanted to be. But as you can see, I make a mistake there coming out of the second corner. I run a bit, don't brake incredibly well for the first corner, lose the back end going into the second corner, and it's just a free position there for that Porsche in front of me. As you can see now, runs a little bit wide, We're going to try and get in behind him. Are we going to make a move on the inside? Last time we went side by side with his teammate through that corner, it didn't end so well, but luckily no damage was to happen. Moving on now later on to the race. This is about lap 15, and as you can see, the sun has really started to shine. Me and the Porsche were running around the same time. I think due to my damage, my tyre wear wasn't that bad, as the Porsche loses the back end and I go into the side of him. And I was considering pitting on this lap anyway, but I was going to pit on the lap after if I could. But at this point I could feel the car just being so shit, so I was like, I've got to pit this lap, get into the pits, and then do 16 laps on the new set of tyres, which was maybe one lap more than I would have liked, but beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. So we're now going to go into the pits. As you can see there off left is the pits, as we decide to go in. The barriers kind of obstruct our vision of my car, and into the pits we go. We're going to fix the damage. I believe the damage does not show in this camera angle once it's kind of all done, because I don't really know why, in all honesty. But we come out behind this Z4. At the time I thought the Z4 was, me and the Z4 were battling for position, but as it turns out the Z4 had not pitted and he was a lap ahead of us. My aim in this race was to not come last, not crash into anyone, which unfortunately did happen, and then thirdly my aim was to not get lapped, and luckily I did not get lapped. You'll have to find out about the other one in a minute or so. Well, not in a minute or so, however long this video is still to go on it. But as we came out of the pit lane, I realised we were kind of in no man's land once I kind of realised that the car in front of us we weren't racing for position. So I think it was about 12 seconds to the car, it was about 20 seconds to the car in front even, and about 12 seconds to the car behind. And I was just like, well then, I decided just to put in some decent laps, just to feel better about myself, to be honest, because a little bit disappointed with my driving today, and just following this car with a custom skin, Z4. Very nice custom skin, I might add. Mine's just I wanted to use the custom skin of the Golf Aston Martin, but I just found this one, and it looks pretty similar, let's face it. Well, not entirely, but it was the closest one I could find, because somebody had already used a custom skin for the Aston, so I could not do it. As you can see, we're slowly gaining on him, and yeah, obviously his tyres must have been dead. He must have been doing like about a second to a second and a half a lap slower than his fastest lap, so that is unfortunate for him. I've realised that I need to kind of get my qualifying pace just a bit better, because I don't know, I'm just not very good at qualifying, in all honesty. So I need to get that kind of a bit better. Now getting up nice and close. I believe the camera cuts here because I was supposed to do it until he went into the pits. He went into the pits that lap. Now cutting to the final lap of the race. The car in front of us did have make a couple of mistakes, and but unfortunately we were not quite close enough to capitalise on them. So we finished in 8th place out of 10 finishers. So we qualified in 8th, finished in 8th, pretty decent, but it could have been a bit better for us. So yeah, hopefully next time we'll have a bit of a cleaner race, and we'll see what happens then. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye. Oh shit, I forgot to